Hello, my name is Mitch, and this is Streaming Consciousness. You can also call me Mitchell. And today we're going to have the very first video. So we'll look back on this, 5 years from now and laugh hysterically and probably hurt ourselves. Anyway, like I said, this channel is called Streaming Consciousness, and the idea for the channel is to view events, um, either national, local, or personal happenings from maybe a completely different perspective. I'm coming at the events from a perspective of what I call consciousness. And so I'm going to have to do a little bit of an introduction here. When I think of this piece, in other words, me, this being that you are seeing in front of you on this screen, I think of only the smallest piece of all of me. And the reason I see it that way is because I feel I've experienced a perspective from a much wider consciousness that sees only this as an intense focus rather than the whole thing. So if this is just a focus, then it's part of a much, much larger consciousness. And the consciousness itself is the real me. And this is the mechanism by which the consciousness can be experienced. So it's kind of a paradigm shift from how maybe we normally view what we consider reality. I see what's happening personally, locally, nationally as the collection of inputs from many, many beings. So, all that said, I probably won't go deep into that today. However, over time, we'll dive into it. We might take it bit by bit. I might go in deep and then do some backfilling. We'll see. Like I say, this is the first video, so we don't know where we're going from here. But we will find out as we look back, right? Anyway, what's exciting that's happening now is this pandemic thing. And that might be a difficult perspective for many, many to say, how can this be exciting? Well, it is exciting. Whether you're enjoying it or not, there's a level of excitement that's occurring. But for me, what I'm seeing is a surge in consciousness, an opportunity for an evolutionary leap in consciousness from the gift that this pandemic is bringing. So very, very simply, the gift is a global sense of unity, unlike we've really ever experienced before. Now, of course, it's being brought to us through what looks, from this perspective, the human perspective, as potential tragedy, adversity, something very uncomfortable. But from the perspective of consciousness, this larger sphere, it is opportunity, awakening, unifying. The opportunity is there because we're all focused on one thing. It's awakening because there's a level of intensity that is shared globally because the stakes are high. And it is paradigm shifting because we're able to experience almost universally a unity of purpose, of focus, of experience like never before, that is also highlighting our individuality. In other words, you go out now and we have this social distancing. But at the same time, we're all doing it. We're all in the same boat. We're all understanding of each other because we all have a similar goal. And the fact that there's an intensity of feeling around this helps us to connect with consciousness in a way that is quite unique. And the reason I'm saying this is so there's an intensity of feeling, and consciousness exists in a field of high intensity, but it's only high positive intensity. It's an amplitude of positivity, of love, of joy that is hard for us to access continually while in this form. But we can access points along the scale. Oftentimes it's easier for us to dive deeper into despair than it is to exist continually in bliss or joy. But for consciousness, it's the inverse of the same scale. And so you connect through intensity, and somehow it flips. And that's the grace. And we'll go into all this at another time also. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much. Good to meet you virtually.